Hey and welcome folks, it's Mark Rolton. I'm coming to you live from the trenches. Many of you may know me as bringing property options to Australia and a very diverse technology that allows you and I to make money from real estate and large sums of it, working capital. But I always get posed the question, I'm always sort of sought after for commentary or dialogue around investing and how to do it. And I've got to share with you my innermost feelings and how I want to see this benefit you moving forward. My first investment was 16 years old. I coerced my parents into going guarantor on my very first loan. It took some very careful negotiation, but they finally agreed to do it. I bought a block of land for $37,000. You're probably thinking, well, geez, that's a long time ago. Yeah, about 20 odd years ago now. But at 16, I was an apprentice carpenter and I said, look, I really want to make some serious money. They thought I was smoking crack, seriously. They couldn't believe that I was going to borrow that kind of money and yet only earning $161 a week as an apprentice carpenter, a chippy. But I worked out pretty fast that I made more money out of selling that property than I ever did working for wages. Do the math. I was earning about $7,500 a year. And I bought the block of land, 802 square meters, then on-sold it at a nice profit to $44,300. Yes, I made a bit over $7,000 just on the sale. That changed my whole philosophy around investing and working for someone for wages. If you're listening to this video, I want to give you a heartfelt message that you are worth more. How do you do that? Let's take control, firstly, of your time. How do you and I do that then, Mark? Well, simple. Let's make some serious cash by using real estate as our slave or as our muse. Let's get clear. In all my time investing now, and it's been over 20 years, folks, since I bought my very first property, and today we own literally tens of millions of dollars worth of assets scattered all over Australia and parts of the world. And I want to bring to you some really clear, concise, insightful knowledge that I know you're going to get. In all my years, I'm very well read. I believe I'm very well versed in the subject of property, economies, macro markets, world markets, and understanding how to create wealth very quickly. And you know what? In all the books, all the media dialogue that I've read, I have never ever seen yet a very specific, concise plan. What do I do if I buy 1, 2, 6, 19, 34? What are the steps and the mechanics in between that? It's never been laid out. I have never seen material that gets that specific. So I developed something and I coined it my automatic acquisition plan. You see, I was doing property and I was doing well. I was making deals, I was doing very well in terms of cash. I was making several $100,000 working from the spare bedroom in my house at the time. That then turned into several million per annum. And yes, I scaled that into an office. But I worked out pretty fast that my portfolio wasn't growing rapidly. Yes, I was turning very good cash. My accountants back then were kind of like, holy smokes, how are you doing this specifically? I was doing okay financially, but I realized that wealth was in my holdings. And you may want to jot that down to start with. Your wealth, your true wealth, is measured by your holdings. Not where you live, not what car you drive, what not color Amex you've got, not what holidays you have, not even the cash in your bank. You'll work out very fast, the more affluent, the more sophisticated you and I become over time, we seriously measure our wealth by our holdings. What are you worth in terms of equity, asset space, instead of just debt alone? And this is a fairly scary subject to have with Australians. Yes, we are very good at using credit, but that must stop. In order for you and I to really catapult ourselves to where we need to go or where we want to go, we've got to get serious about how do I acquire more and more and more. So I tabled a whole new way of thinking and a technology that's very common today among our graduates, among our team, among a lot of people that now come into contact with me across the nation. How do you do it? Well, let's purchase one. And with a system, let's recycle the equity, let's use some cash from property deals or working capital, as I call it. Let's save 11, 14, 17 grand, $25,000 a year in tax that you're already giving to the tax man anyway. And that's enough to build number 2. We use our equity from 1 and 2, recycle that equity and move into number 3. All the while targeting quality real estate like this in the background. This is all I've ever done, folks, is buy very well I don't buy the market, I buy very, very well, sometimes 23, 26 grand under the market. And secondly, I look for strong yields and strong growth. Very simple, systematic. And I'm willing to share this with you. If you want to learn more, you need to be a part of our AAP, Automatic Acquisition Plan. Click on the box below, get to know this. All I'm going to do is just send you material. You utilize it, or you can just toss it in your trash in the inbox. Up to you. It doesn't bother me. But this is what I'm using today, and hundreds, and I say that specifically, hundreds of thousands of Australians are doing the same thing. I just looked at some PIA technology, and this is a software package that's been created, some time ago. But you can't argue with the numbers. There's a graduate in our program that has literally now been wasting about $19,000 a year in tax. She earns about $79,000 in income, 19 goes straight off the tax man. Now she's taken that 19 grand and pulled that back, folks, to $2,800 a year, legally, of course, intelligently, and in a resourceful way. The property, get this, the property now costs her $9 a week, and she's creating 11% growth now, year on year. So I'm targeting high growth areas, I'm targeting the lower end of the market. We're not talking about prestige suburbs, we're certainly not talking about anything in excess of 750. I'm talking the cheap end areas, a bit like this. The blue collar, service-based areas. You and I, this is where our bucks are made from, but large holdings, not 2-6. My plan, quite frankly, that I've used several times over, and as I said, been endorsed by hundreds of thousands of Aussies, is to now buy 20 properties over a 10-year window. So we're talking about buying 2 keys every year, year in, year out. And you're probably sitting there thinking, well, hang on, that's all well and good for you, that's easy, the kind of cash you've got access to, Mark. No, when I first started out, I was using property and making working capital. I'd do a splitter, a quick little deal, a cash flow transaction that would see me cash up 62, 80 grand, $85,000, and then I'd use that money with my tax savings, buying well, and then launching number 2, 6, 7, 11, 14, 26, 39, and so on and so on and so on. These are the steps now that I'm going to be sharing with you. In the next coming weeks, keep your eyes open, and you're going to see more and more and more free content, value add, that if you do something with it, I know will change your financial future forever, full stop. If you do nothing with it, well, you're in charge of that decision as well. So, join me, come along, employ what you learn into the market. Watch how things change. And I can tell you that the greatest gains are made when the pessimism is the greatest. Think about that. A lot of people today do not understand where we are in Australia's cycle of growth, economy, where the opportunities lie. It's not at the peak of the market, people. It's always at the bottom. And you and I both know that we are now moving out of that deep trough post-GFC. Things are changing fast, credit's coming easier, interest rates are still falling and mooted to fall twice between now and Christmas 2013. We are on the front edge of that wave. Real estate, all-time low. In fact, GFC days, we've seen it now fall 21% in values. This is our time to strike. Pessimism, all-time high. Value, all-time high. Greatest opportunities are now. Should you want to join me, come along for the ride. It's going to be an exciting journey that I know, just like many others, will love the results, and I know the profits will speak volumes to you. This is Mark Rolton. Become a part of our program. Join me on that AAP trek, Automatic Acquisition Plan, an automated map of how we get you to 20 properties over a period of 10 years. At the end of that 10 years, we sell down the 10 older keys, the ones that have got higher maintenance, and that may not sort of attract the right tenant. And all we're doing is now taking our equity gains. We know property doubles every 7 to 10. I'm a conservative at heart. Pretend it's every 7 to 10 years. I assume it's 10 years. We now sell down the 10 older keys, get rid of them, take our profits, and then roll them into the 10 keys we intend to keep long term. 10 years, you're now sitting on an equity base, unencumbered, no debt, liquid, no mortgages, pure cash flow from rent. with no mortgages each month, folks, this is the way home. I'll show you how I've replicated this over and over and over again and physically document to you how you're going to catapult yourself to that exact same place as well. Automatic acquisition plan, you must be a part of it, folks, because you are wasting daylight and selling your time for a lot less than you should be. Folks, this is the time to shine. And right now is your moment. Get moving. This is your call to action. I look forward to working with you. Click on the box below. Can't wait to see you someday soon. Mark Rolton signing off for now. Enjoy your afternoon. Bye for now.